This is Block 7, The Greatest Generation, Section 5, The Home Front, with the section beginning Mobilization. And finally, the men who fought the war. 15 million men were drafted or volunteered to serve in the United States Armed Forces during World War II. And they served in all branches of the armed services. There was the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard. There was no independent Air Force yet. There was what was known as the Army Air Corps. Tens of thousands of men served in the Merchant Marine, sailing those all-important cargo ships from the United States to Great Britain and to Russia. Like in World War I, you could not pay for an exemption, but key workers and farmers and farming and industry were exempted from the draft. If you were a skilled machinist in a factory, you were exempted. If you owned, a large farm producing, hundreds of acres of food, you were exempted. But that still, as we have seen, left industry short of workers. Conscientious objectors, like the Quakers, people who were, for religious or moral reasons, opposed to war, were drafted. They did not get off scot-free. They were drafted into camps and put to work building roads, dams, fighting fires, etc., etc. If you were drafted and avoided service, they would come and get you, and that was, you would serve out the war in prison instead, and then be labeled, a draft dodger for the rest of your life. Soldiers spent at least a year in training before being sent to combat, and this training, the United States had the luxury of being able to train its soldiers very well. The Russians certainly didn't. They were just thrown in as soon as they were given a rifle, and sometimes they weren't even given that. American troops, because of their good training, and due to the power of American industries, made the American GI. And a GI was the term that began to be given to all American soldiers. A GI, and no one even knows whether it's general issue or government issue, even the acronym is GI. But American GIs were the best fed, the best clothed, and quantitatively the best equipped soldiers in the field during World War II. They had more stuff, more powerful stuff, more food, better clothes, better shoes than anybody else, and they fought with great skill and elan, and quite a bit of bravery throughout all the theaters of the Second World War. These 15 million men, drafted or volunteered, from their homes, from their factories, from their farms, literally helped save the world. And to this very day, we owe these 15 million men an unpayable debt of gratitude.